Hi, what's up everyone? This video is all about how to train your brain to think in English step by step with 30 days plan. I think most of you guys watching this video want to speak English, but to do that, you need to teach your brain that English is your default language. That means your brain needs to assume that English is the most important language in your daily life. So how to do that? Think in English. So by following this plan, let's develop your English brain. So first step, 3 hours immersion every day. I've been listening to English podcasts every morning for a few years, but I think immersion is one of the best ways of acquiring English brain. But what is exactly immersion? It is just surround yourself with English as much as possible. For example, like YouTube videos you watch in the video or the music you are listening to. Of course, you don't need to change everything. You can start from a small thing that you can control, as I said, the YouTube videos or musics. Even if it is a small thing, it makes a big difference. So let's find something that you can switch from Japanese to English. And also, please try to touch English as much as possible. For example, when you are cooking, when you are eating, or when you are driving, or when you are walking. We have a lot of ear time that we just ignore, but by using those times to listen to music, you can trick your brain as, oh, I am in the English speaking environment even in Japan. And by doing this little by little, your brain starts thinking that English is the most important language that should be focused on. If you don't know what to listen, I already made a video about podcasts that I recommend for each level. So if you are interested in, please check from my description. But why 3 hours of immersion? Actually, I was unable to find scientific proof of how long you should do a immersion, but from my experiences, like 3 hours every day is doable. So this is my routine, but for example, like 2 hours in the morning, actually I wake up early in the morning, so while I'm making breakfast, or I go to the gym, or I'm taking a walk. And another 30 minutes while you are taking a shower or winding down at night. It sounds easy, isn't it? Like what you only have to do is just listen to. And this is my routine, but you can customize depending on your lifestyle. So the first step is immersion for 3 hours every day. So second, talking to yourself in English. Whenever you are alone, please try to speak to yourself in English as much as possible. And this is something that I still do today. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you can mention about the weather. Oh, today is so good weather, so lovely weather, I love this. Or you can mention about the action you are going to take. I'm starving, let's make breakfast. Or I'm thirsty, let's drink water. Or like something. Just easy. Even it is not perfect sentence, it's okay. Just words like related to in the morning. It's enough. Breakfast, hungry, water, bread, natto, blah blah blah. Anything. If it is related to yourself or like your action, you don't need to care about making perfect sentences. The goal here isn't perfection. The goal here is being used to speaking English and making English brain. Fluency is not about making grammatically correct English sentences. It is about how confident you can be and how long you can speak English. So get your mouth moving and speak out loud. Or think in English inner side of yourself. For example, when you go outside and you see some trees, you just say, oh, those trees are very beautiful. And look, there are some birds. They are beautiful too. Or you see a handsome guy, you can say, oh, that guy is very handsome. I'm curious, what job does he do? Like this. You can make sentence in the way you want to do. And there is another benefit of speaking to yourself in English. It is you have a bunch of time to consider about different ways of expressing the same situations. For example, when you try something good, when you eat something very delicious, maybe you can say yummy. It's okay, that's fine, but sometimes yummy sounds like childish. So you can use Google Translation or you can use internet to look up for other expressions, more interesting ways of expressions. For example, this is insane, this food is amazing, this food is so tasty. Like this, there are a lot of ways to express the same situation. So like this, speaking to yourself and expand your English knowledges. At first, you may need to be aware of thinking in English, speaking in English. But gradually, after a month or like something, automatically your brain starts using English in your daily life. Okay, let's go to my third advice. My third advice is writing journals in English every day. This is another great way to make your brain think in English. By writing journals in English, not only brushing up your English skills, but also you can observe your emotion or your feelings, or you can check how you perceive English. As I've repeated in many videos, but I think you shouldn't perceive English as a study, because once you start perceiving English in that way, all of a sudden you cannot enjoy the process of acquiring English. However, by writing journals, you can observe how you see English, and once you realize that you are starting, the perceiving English as a study, you can change the methods or ways to study English. And it also connects to stay motivated. You can start small with just one sentence is enough. But unlike speaking, writing gives you a lot of time to check the grammar or learn proper structures. So I recommend you to check your sentence if it is grammatically correct or not by using Google Translations or the internet. Even fluency doesn't mean making grammatically correct sentences. If you want to reach higher level of English, sooner or later, the minimum grammar knowledges are essential. So at the same time, not only being used to speaking English, but also acquiring minimum grammar knowledges is also important. And throwing back some practices I explained today, it is kinda tough to review the sentences you made by yourself. For example, when you are speaking to yourself in English, it is kinda tough to review the sentences you made if it is grammatically correct or not, because our brain is not good at doing multitask. However, when you are writing journals, there is no pressure. You have plenty of time. So, you can check the sentences you made is grammatically correct or not. And this is a step, or this is the time, this is a practice to acquire grammar knowledges, which is essential to reach the higher English level. So my final advice is 1-minute speech practice. Maybe this is a step for learners from intermediate to advanced levels. But some of you may agree with that, but even if you have high score on TOEIC or Eiken, still it is hard to summarize yourself in, the organized English sentences. This is also me, but for example, you can make a lot of many short sentences, but when it comes to, the making a long sentence and continue to speak by yourself for a long minute, it is kind of tough. However, if you want to reach the higher level of English, that skills is essential. However, to be able to do that, this practice is very, very effective. So let's try this. Give a 1-minute speech every day, and you can choose theme or topic, what you want, anything is okay. For example, your self-introduction in a minute, or your favorite music, your job, anything you want. And the goal is keep talking for 1 full minute without stopping. And if you can, please record your speech and please listen back your pronunciation and grammar or like something and give a self-feedback. And this simple practice can really boost your English fluency over time. At first, all of this might feel a bit forced, but if you keep doing those things every day, for sure, I promise your brain turns to English brain in 30 days. So let's review 30 days plan. First, 3 hours immersion. Second, speaking to yourself in English. Third, writing journals in English. And fourth, 1-minute speech every day. So, thanks for watching. Let's build that English brain together. Good luck. Have a great day.
はい、そして最後に僕からなんと大事なお知らせがあって、僕の4大プレゼントにもう一つプレゼントが加わりました。それは TOEIC 頻出単語リスト4600語です。これは僕が TOEIC955 点を獲得できた経験から、TOEIC を受ける際にはこれだけは覚えておいて損はないという単語をまとめたリスト。これをプレゼントに付け加えます。現在の総単語数は4600語ですが、これはまだ未完成で、最終的には1万語以上を収録したいと思っています。ただ、このデモ版の時点でも受け取りたいという多くの方がいらっしゃったので、今回無料プレゼントに付け加えをさせていただきました。 そしてまだ4つ無料で受け取れるプレゼントがあります。1つ目は TOEIC リスニング満点の僕がゼロから作った TOEIC リスニング完全攻略ガイドブックです。そもそも TOEIC とは何なのか、TOEIC の全てのパートの問題の形式と解説、そして TOEIC リスニング問題の全ての解き方のコツを図表やグラフを使い視覚的にパッと分かりやすいような内容で解説しています。自分が独学で TOEIC に向けて勉強していた際にこういう内容が欲しかったというような内容を詰め込んだガイドブックになっています。作り込みは本当に頑張りました。2つ目、英語学習無料カウンセリングチケット。これは僕があなたの英語学習に関するお悩みを直接お聞きし、あなた専用の学習プランを作成させていただきます。あなたの現在の英語力から目標を達成するためにはどんな勉強法、そしてどんな教材が必要なのか、そういったものを一緒に考えさせていただいて、あなたが取り組むべきことを一つ一つ示させていただきます。これに参加していただくことで、あなたのやるべきことが明確になると思います。3つ目は英作文添削チケット。自分が英検に向かって一人で勉強していた時、英作文をきれいに書くということにはすごく苦労しました。そういった方を一人でもなくせたらと思い、あなたの書いた英作文を僕に送っていただくとナチュラルな英作文になるように僕が直接添削します。そして最後に TOEIC フィードバックチケット。あなたの過去の TOEIC の結果や模試の結果を踏まえて、あなたが目標の TOEIC スコアを達成するためにはどの問題集を使ってどんな勉強をするのかということを僕が1対1でお話をさせていただきます。これらのプレゼントを僕の公式 LINE からお配りしています。興味のある方は概要欄から追加してください。はい、ということでここまでご覧をいただきありがとうございました。少しでもいいなと思っていただけたら、チャンネル登録、高評価、コメント何でもいいのでよろしくお願いします。質問も受け付けてます。そして僕のインスタグラムではここでしか見れない英語学習に関するコンテンツを毎日発信しているので、よかったらこっちもこの ID からフォローしてください。それでは次の動画でお会いしましょう。Do what you only can do. You can do it. See you.